Hey everybody! Today it is me, Jacob Goodan with Solar Media, and we're going to go through another YoloBox video. We're going to go through a little bit more in depth of how it works and how to set it up. So, we're going to go straight into it. So, I just pressed plus and got into a stream. You can now do monitor mode too, which you just can't go live. But you can look at what you're doing. Every time there's an update, it'll give you a little notification when you start it, and you can choose to update it or not, up to you. I have the latest one that's available at this moment, so I'm going to go through what I see as I see it. So, here we go. As we said before, this is two inputs right here, and we have a close-up and a wide shot. Fairly simple, that part is fairly logical. We're going to go through the other portion of the screen here to see what we can add. If you push the plus sign here in the overlay section, comes up some options. You can have a full image overlay, lower third. You can have a countdown timer, which is new. So one of these, and then you set all of your colors, where the text is going to be. And yeah, I'm just going to push done. And that should be, the timer comes up. That's new in the newer updates. And we're going to add something else. Going to go down and add a lower third. And they have some pre options here. Some of the names here are from YoloBox staff. Let's see here. I'm going to go with Jacob. Not Jack, Jacob. There you go. YoloBox. So you see, it's fairly simple to just add some text. I'm going to just grab and pull it to my lower left. And then I can select this text size to big or small or whatever you want. There you go. And then the same thing with the subtitle text there. If I want it extra small, there you go. Pull it down and done. And I can just add it there, remove my timer. Very simple to use. Compared to, say, a Blackmagic where you have to do a little bit more fiddling and pre-work to do it. But with this one, it's very easy. You have also social media overlays, so you can use your YouTube channel names and all of that stuff. Also, you have titles. So you're going to have a big one, like, welcome to the show. Boom, 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 boom. Sounds pretty nice. There you go. So start with your timer, and the timer goes down. Then you go over to your welcome to the show. And then you go out with that, and you add your graphics. Just a few touches with the screen. Very simple. This is kind of what the strength of the YoloBox is. It's the streaming function. And as you can see, you have 4 standard ones. You have your YouTube, Facebook, and your Twitch. The top here we have my login to YoloLive, and that would be if I want to do multi-streams at the same time, or if I want to record on their cloud service, which is also new. That you can have a recording on the cloud itself, so you don't have to have something connected to here, but whatever you stream, you can record and keep it on the cloud. So that's a subscription you do. You can go into the website for the current prices right there. In the bottom here, we have our own playout system, which you can set up customly by going into the YoloLive website, where you log in there. You add your platform, and then you add your stream key and your IP address. So fairly simple. All you're going to do then is you press which channel you want to go live at, and then you press go live right here. Are you ready to start live streaming? Yeah, sure. And now we're streaming. If I wanted to record, I just press the little record button here because I have a SIM card connected. Also works with the USB out, so I have a hard drive or something like that. You just press record, and it says how much space you have, and then you start recording. So there you have it. So in the middle up here, you have something that says 1080p. You can choose that to be a lower resolution if you want to use lesser bandwidth, if you don't have a receiver that can handle it. But we're going to go with 1080p anyways. There you go. If I want to do recording, I just press record. Just record to my stream, my card or my hard drive, and I can press go live and start early. You can just go live either at scheduled time or right away. I still haven't chosen where to go, so I'm going to go with our streaming playout system right away, right there. So now we're streaming out on our playout system, which is pretty fancy. Once again, it has the SIM card, it has the Wi-Fi, and it has Ethernet cable for you to stream with. If you don't have a streaming software or an internet at the moment, you can still just record to the card and upload it later if you want. Pretty fancy. There you go. And on your third thing here, we can invite guests. which is also new in the latest update. This part is you invite the guests to be part of your broadcast, and you can mute their audio and do things to them. As you can see here, you can mute them by default, and you can allow them in and just allow participants to join in straight away. It means it's more community-based streaming now, so that's pretty cool. On the third one here, they've updated the audio, so now they have audio follows video. You can also mix on and off which channels you want. That is, if I had the mic on each HDMI, maybe one for each guest, I can set the level for each guest, have them on or off right there. And I can set the decibel level or the volume level right there as well, if I just want to have the numbers. Otherwise, you push audio follows video. So whenever I switch, if I have different mics, that would give it the microphone from that camera. If we go into the next one here, we have a scoreboard. So if you put this on, you can adjust the size a little bit or move it around at least. There you go. There, and you can add points as you go. This could be used for, soccer games, just fun music quizzes or anything like that. So you just touch in what name your teams are, you touch in what teams there are, and then you just go for it. And then you can just erase it and add it when you want in the thing. A little bit of a fun thing to do if you have friends doing your streams with you, or if you're recording something else, or it's actually a sporting event, then you have the scoreboard right there. If you are logged into your YouTube or your Facebook, you can have the comments come in on the side here. And then you can put them in as you go, or read them as you go, as you are streaming, which is actually kind of fun. So you do have a lot of community with invited guests. You can have the comments come in straight into your stream. So you can actually communicate and be a part of the rest of the gang when you're streaming. This is also a new thing on the update. It's an auto switch. So if you don't actually want to push the buttons yourself, you can just press auto switch. And you have to add source it. I want the 1 and the 2, all I have, and start auto switching. So now it's going to switch every 10 seconds. So I can just switch camera every 5 seconds. If I had more cameras, I can choose random or do a loop. There we can disable that. So either sequential or random. So you can just pick each camera to go. You're going to have to keep track of where you are if you're going to follow and talk in the camera. But that's actually really cool. So if you're a one-man band or a one-man show, you can just have it switching on its own and get going with it. Super cool. All right, that's actually the most of our things here, but we haven't added video sources. That's actually an important thing. It's not on this side, so I missed it at first, but it's down here. So if I push that button, we can choose videos from our SD cards, for example. This is our recording from earlier that we did a recording on. Press done. So now it pops up down here. If I want to add a picture-in-picture, I can do my 2 loops here. So I do the main one, and then I do the close-up one. There we go. And then I set where I want my screen to be, how big it's going to be, and what border thickness is going to be, and how big and too big. Too big! There, pull it down and bottom. There. There. And then done. So now not only can I just switch between my cameras, which is wide shot and close up, I have my picture-in-picture now, so I have both of them in there. So I just add them up as we go. And now I'm playing a video about myself. So you can set up very many things very easily, which is actually quite fun. So you can have a couple of videos up. You can have your picture-in-pictures with the videos and comment on them yourself. If you have a screen coming in from your computer, you can sit there and comment on the screen you're viewing as well. The last one we have left here is the settings, which is quite a few. So if we go from the video switching mode, it's fairly simple. Either you click or you double click. So if you want to make sure you don't accidentally switch when you don't want to, you can auto switch, or double click. And this is actually a thing I really like in the SD card video options. You can choose that it either continues playing when you switch, so just continues where it is. It can be that it resumes from the first frame and then pauses when it switches over. So if you have an intro or effect in between, it'll just start over every time. If you have a longer clip about something happening that you want to comment on, maybe it's another video or anything, maybe a trip you did, so you just switch over and just go play, and then when you go over to you, it'll stop playing. When you go back to the video, it'll continue. So if you want to intervene and talk about the clip in between. And then you have your SD card set management settings, and that's just, you can delete videos that you've recorded in here and keep track of how much space you have. Always good to have. Right now I'm outputting this mixed screen. If I do program out, it'll only be this screen. So when I switch my videos around, it'll be on full screen instead, like so. This here is USB-C out, so if you don't want to go HDMI out, you can have your USB-C right here in the front instead. Some units prefer using USB. If you're going to go in the computer, it's usually easier. For example, you can choose your transitions. So you can do cross zoom. Let's see what that looks like. Depending on what you're going to do with it. I just usually go with cut because it's nice and easy. It works. It works fine. There you go. I'm going to go back once, and you have your streaming mode. And this is if you're going to do a single stream, you don't have to be logged into the YoloDiv. If you want to do multi-streams, you have to log into their platform and stream to there, and then from there it splits out. Also a very good option there that you can actually multi-stream. Other units you cannot, but with some you can. And here's the same thing if you want to do the HDMI out or you want to do a DP out, you choose it right here. I'm going with HDMI. I can't really change it right now because then it's going to go a little bit haywire in the middle of the stream. But you can switch that right there. This is actually something I like. This is something unusual for these kind of machines, but this one is very handy, especially if you have restricted internet or if you have some form of restriction somewhere in your stream. This can set if you want to have a constant bitrate, if you want to have variable bitrate, if you want to set the bitrate, and you can set your frames per second. So if you're in Europe, you should, you can do it while you're streaming, of course. But you can change the frame rate to adjust to where you are. Europe is 25 and North America is closer to 30. So you know that as well. I really love this part. The encoding settings is something that I like. Might be a little bit nerdy, but it's actually very handy to have. And you can choose your storage setting if you want to go to your SD card, or if you're going to go to a USB device that you connect, which is good for you, especially if you run out of space. Maybe you can't switch the card, you want to connect the next one and switch over. Or you have all your clips on your card and you want to record on the other side. Same thing, same thing. This is also new for the updates. There's a replay setting. So you can replay when you're recording, and you can do a speedier replay and then set the audio to it. And then you can also set here if it's going to mute all the other devices when you do the replay, and then it's just going to overlap on the program. So that's actually new. That's something fun to play with if you're going to do, it could be anything really, quizzes, sports, anything. But you know what? There's a setting right here that we can't actually go through here. So I'm going to go send over to my Auto Studio for green screening. Okay, everybody, I just hopped over to the green screen studio because you have to have a chroma key color to do chroma key. So I'm just going to go through the amazing feature of chroma keying in the YoloBox. It's actually fairly simple, as many other things. You can see my screen right here. All I do is press this little man right there, and that gives me my keying switching little thing. So I can put the switching on, like so. And then in here, in the bottom, down here, I already added a picture, but you go into your SD card as per usual, and then you push whatever background you have and press done. It loads it, and there it is. On these two faders right here, you can set your how much it pushes in and pushes out on your subject. So if I do a similarity too much, I become a ghost. And if I do it too little, it goes nothing. So if you do it slowly, you see where the edges are cutting in. So you have to be a little bit careful where you are. And the smoothness is how much it pushes in the other way, like where the edges are pushing in at the side here on the table. I find that if you're lit properly, have a backlight and a green light, green behind you, you are doing fine. This custom one works fine. You can of course choose between green and blue. And remember not to wear the color that you're keying away, because then again, you will disappear. That's how it is. Pretty simple. And you do that on every background you have. So if I do the same thing on the green one close up here, I go into the switch keying on, keying auto, and then add the background image again. There you go. It can only do stills at the moment, but you'll see if that's going to be updated after. So now the background is switching with me. If you wanted this a little bit fancier, you would switch the background image to where you are, so it's ever so slightly different. But at the moment, it's just showing how it's done. If you want to do it prettier, you're welcome to do so. There you have it, and I'm going to toss back to the other studio again. Go. All right, back from the chroma key green screen, and that's once again an amazing feature. But we have now gone through all of the settings that you can set in the box at the moment, so I hope this was informative enough for you. If you don't mind, like and subscribe to the video. There's gonna come more updates, and then they're gonna maybe come more videos as well. So you should actually pick one up because they are great, they are fun to use, and very easy to use. So with that, I say goodbye to you guys, and I see you in the next one.